My great students, how are you? This is your basic science teacher, and our topic for this week is crude oil and petrochemicals. What is crude oil? I hope you can still remember from our audio class. Crude oil is a naturally occurring unrefined petroleum product. Crude oil is a naturally occurring unrefined petroleum product which is composed of hydrocarbon deposits and other organic materials. I hope you can still remember that another term used for crude oil is petroleum, and crude oil can be referred to as black gold. Crude oil can be refined to produce usable products, for example, gasoline, diesel, and various forms of petrochemicals. Crude oil is a non-renewable resource. That means it can finish or can be exhausted anytime. And crude oil can also be referred to as fossil fuel. Fossil fuel, which means that it can't be replaced naturally at the rate at which we consume it. Therefore, it is limited. Crude oil is typically obtained through oil drilling. You drill in order to get crude oil. And crude oil is found alongside other resources, for example, natural gas, which is found above the crude oil, as well as salty water or saline water. This one sinks below the crude oil. Then this crude oil that is obtained through the process of drilling is refined and processed into various forms. For example, your kerosene which you use at home, your gasoline or petrol as you know it, etc. Then, what is petrochemical itself? Petrochemical. Petrochemicals can also be called petroleum distillates. And if you can remember from the class we had before, petrochemicals are chemical products which are derived from crude oil or petroleum. Petrochemicals are chemical products derived or obtained from petroleum, and the compounds which can be obtained from this petroleum can also be obtained from other renewable sources, for example, corn, sugarcane, as well as from other fossil fuels which are non-renewable resources, for example, coal and natural gas. Two most common petrochemical classes are olefins, which include ethylene and propylene, and aromatics. Example of that include benzene and toluene. Oil refineries produce all these petrochemicals by fluid catalytic cracking of petroleum fractions. And how do we refine this crude oil when we get it? As you can see from the diagram, the first step is distillation. This distillation involves pumping oil through pipes in hot furnaces and separating the light hydrocarbon molecules from the heavy ones in downstream distillation towers. If you can still remember the first picture in the video. Then the second step is cracking. This depends on how efficiently the crude oil can be used to produce or convert middle distillates, gas oil and residuum into gasoline, jet and diesel fuels by using series of processing plants. So the heavier oils are converted to lighter ones using cracking methods. Then the third one is treating. The products from the crude oil units contain some natural impurities, for example, sulfur and nitrogen. And this process of treating, which involves the removing of impurities, is used to remove all this in order to reduce air pollution when we use these fuels. The fourth one is reforming, which involves a conversion of these hydrocarbon molecules into high-octane gasoline components. What are the uses of this crude oil and petrochemicals? Mostly, it is used to produce energy. Then, small portion of it is used as raw materials in the production of plastics, rubber, fertilizers, cosmetics, etc. Crude oil is used to produce gasoline, diesel, heating oil, jet fuel, etc. You get your gasoline, which you use to fuel your car or petrol, your heating oil, which is used to heat buildings, residual fuel oil, which is used for powering power stations, fueling large ships, making electricity, like I mentioned earlier. Also, it is used to produce food additives, which is another major type of petrochemical, which is used for food preservatives and to increase the tenure of freshness of canned food. Then plastic bottles also are obtained using these petrochemicals. And what are the importance of this crude oil and petrochemicals? Number one, it is used to produce petrol and other fuels which are used around the world. Number two, lubricating oil is obtained from this crude oil, which helps to overcome friction. Number three, it helps to produce or provide job. There is increased job creation, offshore, onshore, those who work in the refineries, those who work at the petrol stations, in the industries where these petrochemicals are used. Then, petrochemicals are also used to create most of the everyday products that we use, from your vehicles to a variety of electronics. Almost everything that we use in this present day are powered by or are made of petrochemicals. We've come to the end of our class today. I hope the class was very interesting. Take care, God bless, and be good. Take care, bye.